All right, so once you're done cutting those out, I want you to notice that I kept this piece of paper completely intact. Just like on my finished example, that piece of paper, you want to try to keep it all one piece. If it falls apart, we can just glue it down and glue it back together. It's not the end of the world. These pieces I'm gonna scoot out of here, and I'm gonna take my single piece, and I am very, very carefully going to, you can even rub it off a little bit with your finger, but if any of that white pastel, you want to get rid of it before we glue this down, but you don't want to tear your paper trying to erase it. So you have to be really careful with where you hold on to it. And then once it's all off of there, you want to glue it in the center of this painted paper that you have. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm even going to leave these here, and I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take my glue stick, and I am very carefully going to make sure that I apply glue. You don't want it to be globbed on there, but you want to make sure that you kind of bring it on all the corners of your piece of paper here. And whatever glue you guys get on the table, you'll just wipe it up when you're done. And so every little piece of it, you really have to make sure you get glue on it. And then I'm gonna pick it back up, I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm just gonna kind of gently set it. I don't wanna press anything down until I know it's centered. So I'm gonna start at the bottom and I'm gonna center that. And then I'm gonna go to the top and put where I think it is in the center. And I might need to do a couple little adjustments. And then I'm gonna start pressing from the top down until I have the whole piece totally glued down. Make sure you go over it. And if there are like corners and things sticking up, like maybe you didn't get glue on the back of an area all that well, you can lift it up just a little bit, sneak some glue into there with your glue stick, and press it back down. All right, so now that I have that, that part glued down, now we're gonna work on these separate shapes. And so we're gonna work on them like one by one. So I'm gonna start with this one up here at the top. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out this shape on the inside and then also this smaller shape. And then we're gonna talk about how we're gonna be gluing those down. So carefully cutting these out. What you're gonna do is you're gonna alternate how you're gonna be gluing them down. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna set this, it's almost like a puzzle. I'm gonna put it back together, okay? And I have all of my little pieces, right, like laid into here. Now the biggest one, I want you to take it and mirror it out going this way. The middle one is gonna stay where it is, and then the smallest one is also going to be flipped and mirrored out like that, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna glue those down, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna move on to my other shapes. So I'm gonna pick this up, I'm gonna flip it over just to glue it, and then I'm gonna set it back down just like I had it positioned a second ago. So I'm gonna try to align the corners the best I can. The better that this is aligned, the better that it looks. And if you get confused at all and you don't remember like how do you position this, put the puzzle back together and then mirror it out. All right, so I got one section done. I feel like it looks pretty sweet too. So now I'm gonna take my time and I'm just gonna work one shape at a time. So I'm gonna move on to this one next. Now you're just gonna repeat the process. Start with the next shape, cut out the smaller pieces inside, fit the puzzle back together, alternate them back and forth, and then glue them down. And continue that with each of the larger shapes that you cut out.